All right, glad to have you back. Now, history was made in Ekiti on Wednesday as Governor Biodun Oyebamiji led dignitaries to receive the first commercial flight at Ekiti Agro-Allied International Cargo Airport in Ado-Ekiti, describing the project as a major milestone in the state's quest for economic growth and enhanced connectivity. United Nigeria aircraft with registration number 5NBWY and about 50 passengers on board arrived at about 11:09 and departed at 12 noon for Lagos. Speaking during the historic event, Governor Oyebamiji, who disclosed that over 49 billion naira was expended on the execution of the project, he noted that the investment reflected the state government's commitment to critical infrastructure that would stimulate development, attract investors, and create jobs for the people of the state. Governor Oyebamiji said the airport was strategically designed to support the export of agro-produce, boost value chains, and reduce post-harvest losses for farmers. Governor said the airport would also open Ekiti to global opportunities, particularly in agriculture, commerce, and tourism. My guest is Mr. Olumide Onwayo. He's an aviation analyst and General Secretary, Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative. Thank you so much, Mr. Onwayo, and it's good to have you on the program. Again, Ekiti.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, then. Ekiti has taken the lead again, following states that have, gotten into the aviation space by the launch of this airport and all of that. But just take us through what you make of this before we try to understand the viability of airports like this one.
Congratulations, Tokwe.
Tolu, please.
Congratulations. Tolu,
sorry. Thanks. Yes, go ahead.
Congratulations and to the government of Ekiti State. Despite all the criticism and what's encouraging, Ekiti State government was able to say this true.
Yeah.
That I will have to congratulate them. And if you listen to the comments of the governor, which you just repeated again now, you see that his focus is not just about it's not the airport itself, but what the airport is going to do for the community and the state in general. Potentials of growth, tourism, and improvement in the export of the agricultural products. That is the reason why people go for build airports. Airports are strategically not built immediately to make money or become profitable, but are seen as a social service to provide entry points and attract investors and visitors to a particular area or state. And that's why airports are built, are not necessarily to make profit in the beginning, and that has been very clarified by the state government, and I congratulate them for that. Again, almost of all the airports that were built recently, they also were the one that was able to quickly attract a scheduled flight there with United Airlines coming in to operate. And that's also a good one from the state government, that they will get an airline to partner and just not keep the airports sitting down there in doldrum and not providing the services or being used for why it was built in the first place. There are some state airports that are built now and that have been declared open over a year or 2 years ago and still not receiving flights. So I congratulate Ekiti State, and let's see how they move from there. But my only advice for them is that they should not be like every other airport who sees the amount of land that they've allocated for the airport and now want to make use of the whole land at once. No, you build small and you begin to expand both your runway and terminal building as your passengers, cargo, and other movement increases, so that your cost of maintenance will not be too high and keep you out of and keep the airport in a bad shape. Now that the airport is here, the operation has started. We're now moving to maintenance and sustaining the airport. And in sustaining the airport, you need to attract more flights. You need to attract services, just beyond just carrying passengers, services and other airport-related activities to be attracted to the airport or around the airport or work towards an aerotropolis. So that would make the airport have more activity, and that would be of benefit to the airport and reduce the cost of maintaining and running the airport. Once again, I say congratulations, and I think the students of the Afebabala University will be the biggest beneficiary, because the first video we saw a lot of students making an attempt to take a flight out of Ekiti, and I say congratulations to them.
Great stuff. Also, The governor talked about agriculture, talking about how this will benefit farmers in the state, stop post harvest losses, you know, make sure that their goods move in very good time into other states, of course, across the Federation. I see that as a step in the right direction. But, you know, because before we talk about traffic in that kind of airport, I'm more concerned about the level of traffic that is expected. But the angle of the agricultural produce, I think that also, is that a step in the right direction?
Well, you know, the airport is Ekiti cargo airport. So definitely it's a step in the right direction. And it will not be used by Ekiti people alone. You see others, neighboring states of Osun, Ondo State will also come over there and use that to move some of the goods out of that airport. I was just reading a report before I came online now. It's just airports whereby Eric had pulled out, and ValueJet is the only airline right now on that route. But because of the size of the aircraft that ValueJet is putting on the route, it's been very difficult to move some of those agricultural produce, the fresh flowers and other produce out of Jos, and that is affecting the farmers who are crying for a bigger aircraft or another airline to join the fray on the Jos route. So I think as we have started with it has started with the passenger, and as they started with the passenger, they also begin to walk towards the cargo, the cargo freight, cargo transport of the industry. And I'm very positive if the arithmetic is right, if the infrastructure is okay, and they're able to attract most of the farmers and other produce that Ekiti has that can be taken to the world as quickly as possible, and cargo will also blossom like we have started with the passenger side of it. But to be said, Ekiti would have to be the one that will lead in attracting those the airlines, in attracting investors, in attracting attracting producers and farmers and other business within Ekiti to make use of the airport as an alternate mode of transportation.
Interesting stuff. 49 billion naira, according to the governor, has been expended on this project. Well, my next question would be, it seems like many state governors are getting into the airline business now. I don't know, what really do you think is the interest? What is attracting all of them? What is bringing them into that space?
Well, I must tell you that there are two areas of investment now. There are those coming into building airports, and there are those who are investing in the airline itself.
Yeah.
In the last 40 years that we've had the regulation in Nigeria, where we have seen that the private airlines have not been able to meet up with the projected aspirations of the industry and providing services. Today, we are just carrying about 16 million passengers. Lagos alone is carrying 10 million out of that 16. I'm sorry, Lagos is about 8 million out of that 16. And look at South Africa, as small as South Africa is compared to our population, they're carrying 34 million passengers. So we are stunting the growth of domestic passengers in Nigeria based on the limited aircrafts available. Now the airlines, the states have joined. We have Cali Air for Cross River, we have Enugu Air for Enugu State, we have Bayelsa who have just joined, and I heard Ogun State is working on an airline. And I think the industry really welcomes these players. They have helped with the fares and options for passengers to travel on. And for the state airport that they have built, if Ekiti had not acted, what do you think would have happened? The nearest airport to Ekiti is the Akure airport. The Akure airport route has been unpassable, and they've not been battling over the year to repair a journey of about 30-40 minutes by road. And so Ekiti has come, Ekiti has joined the frail, Ekiti is operating, Ekiti has attracted the Nigerian airline. Ekiti would also attract the cargo airline in the nearest future. That I'm positive about. But see, let us celebrate them now. The students, I know most importantly, are the parents and students of the private universities in and around Ekiti who have been itching for an alternate mode of transportation. I know many calls I get from them asking how they can get to that place without passing through Akure and all that. But now all that has been solved, and it's not therefore it is to skyrocket and build this business and attract investment and activities into Ekiti State.
Okay, now let's move further to the larger aviation space now, because the network seems not to be very friendly with us today. What do you make?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Mr. Owayo, I can hear you if you can hear me.
I can hear you too.
Great. So I'm asking you about the larger aviation market. It's December
Yes, I can
season,
hear you.
and a series of trips people want to travel. We see that there's already an issue.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
There is already an issue with air flight tickets. And of course, people are talking about that. Even the Senate and House of Rep had to intervene into that issue. So what do you make of the Yuletide season, traveling around this time? Do you think all our airlines are ready for business?
Airlines are ready, but unfortunately, what we had in the past, whereby you see them going to lease bigger aircrafts to run the routes for them during this period, is not what we are seeing now. We have not seen those kind of large aircraft that you see coming, wet list aircraft that you see coming for the Yuletide period. I have not seen that. I have not seen those big beds at the airports, and I think that's why one of the things that's affecting the fares. And in affecting the fares is because the demand that it's outstripping the supply. Supply here is the aircraft and seats available. And with what is happening now, you can see that this fares we're talking about is not on all routes. It's on the routes that Christmas celebration is something that they don't joke with. And that's why you see traveling to the southeast, south during this period, it's a bit expensive, and it's normal. This is where the law of demand and supply comes in. But then the fares could have been lower if they had more capacity. The airlines had more capacity. If the facility at the airport could extend beyond the normal closing hours, I think those are the things that can help bring down the fares. If there's extension of working hours for those airports, if they can extend this working hours maybe to about 12 midnight, that more flights can come in. And if you open more flights, then the fares will come down. But I'm happy that everybody in the country now is awake. Everybody's talking about the fares. The Senate, the House Committee. I just hope they don't go to sleep. There are a lot of things that we need to address fundamentally in the industry. Looking at the charges from the agencies, looking at taxes, even ECOWAS itself has given a January 2nd as implementation of a 20% tax reduction across the West Coast. I see that more as like that of the Yamoussoukro Declaration, whereby you make a declaration, then implementation becomes a problem. So I think with the new wave and the momentum is gathered, the fares are gathering. I expect that this will be addressed with the committees that are coming, and with state airlines bringing in with state setting up their airlines now, putting more capacity on the route. This thing will definitely become a thing of the past, but we must work towards it. Not working in silos, but working together with that synergy within the regulator, the operators, and the ministry itself, so that we can get appropriate fares and get more Nigerians to fly. Because it is when more Nigerians fly, it's when we have more aircraft and more capacity that everybody will smile, that more revenue for the government, fares will drop, and the aviation's contribution to the GDP will also increase.
Did you touch on the issue, because we had some issues with the network when you started earlier, the issue of flight tickets being on the high side?
Yes, like I said, with the flight ticket, I said what you are seeing that is playing out most now is that what happens when the Americans are saying they're going on their Thanksgiving holidays. If you try to buy a ticket for that period, you probably have to pay double what you pay during the week. So if you go on routes whereby the airlines, you have maybe one or two airlines, definitely the high fares would affect you. Again, because of the festivities, these fares you are seeing are crazy on roads whereby people go to celebrate the Christmas and New Year festival, and that's why I see it's on the routes to the southeast and south. But on flights to the northern part of the country, we are not having this crazy fares that just come up now due to demand. Demand is definitely outweighing supply, and what we can work on now is to see how supply can be improved maybe before the Christmas period, or to see how we can extend the opening hours of the airports, specific airport, if they have the landing equipment, so that flights can operate till about 11, 12 at night. So with that, they'll be able to increase their frequencies, and then in increasing their frequencies, then there'll be more. They'll open more portals for people to look at flights to buy, and you see that the price will drop in order to fill those extended frequencies.
Amos, thank you so much for your time. Interesting chat as always. General Secretary, Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative, Aviation Analyst, Mr. Olumide Onwayo. Do have a great weekend.
Thank you for having me.
All right then.